Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for WWE Payback, the most exciting WWE related pay-per-view for possibly the next 2 weeks. Alright, so yeah, we got Payback now, and WrestleMania nowadays is basically 5 months long. It starts at the Royal Rumble, and it pretty much ends at Payback. Like, all of the storylines from WrestleMania are getting tied up in a nice pretty bow now. Like, this is basically the end of one half of the WWE year. We're going to be starting with a bunch of hopefully new and interesting stuff on the way to Money in the Bank and going forward from there. But now we're basically going to be concluding a bunch of stuff, which means a few of these matches we've seen a couple of times before, but
Oh yeah, he's Nikki V. Then we're the other two assholes here. He's Calco Stumtoon.
I like how I'm not the asshole.
Congratulations! You are not the asshole. You have graduated to the title of douchebag.
Douchebag.
Payback. Payback used to be in Chicago for like the past 2 years, but now all of a sudden it's in it's in the place I don't think it really wants to be right now, Baltimore.
Let's carefully avoid this conversation if you don't mind.
Yeah, we'll dance around that subject and hopefully not get to it. Anyway, we got a bunch of matches. You know how our predictions cast go. All right, let's kick this off with the pre-show match, which is the Ascension versus Curtis Axel and Damian Sandow, but Curtis Axel is the whole Axelmania thing. And we have Macho Man Damian. What is his name now?
Macho Mandow?
Macho Man. God.
Okay, what are we calling this? Is it like the minor
new
powers?
Mega Power? Yeah, the Mega Powers,
or the Meta Powers?
Meta.
I've heard a couple of good ones. Also, if the Ascension doesn't win this, after the match, are they going to get stuffed into a crate and sent back to OVW? It feels like we're kind of done with the Ascension at this point.
Remember when the Ascension, when we were all so excited when the Usos were champion that the Ascension would come in and be this big badass team, like storms through everybody, and now the Ascension are a fucking joke?
The secret is that the Ascension always sucked. We just didn't know it.
Yeah, I was about to say, our enthusiasm for the Ascension may have been just a touch misguided.
All right, I'm sorry, but the Legion of Doom was 25 years ago, and they were awesome, but the Ascension is not.
Well, their whole thing is, like, they don't really have their own thing. Their whole thing is that they're better than insert whichever, faction that you want to mention that had a whole bunch of spikes on their outfit. Like, you can say, oh, Legion of Doom,
Not to mention, they've got the whole Illuminati thing going on in their Titantron animation. Why? Look, there are so many great possibilities when it comes to their characters if they were to inject the whole Illuminati thing in there. They could go off in wild directions with that. But of course not. It's there because...
Yeah, and the thing is, I remember hearing something about how, I think it was Victor, has been in like the WWE system for almost like 7 or 8 years. Like, he has been somebody who has been trying to make the jump up to the main roster, and for one reason or another just hasn't worked out. And I've noticed that if that happens, if it takes that long for them to catch on, they probably aren't going to do it. And the sad part is, another example of that would be Fandango or Johnny Curtis. He's been in the WWE.
What the fuck happened to Johnny Curtis?
I know, like, Johnny Curtis, I've actually taken a look at some of his minor league stuff, and he can go. He's a really good wrestler. He just needs to find the right thing. And unfortunately, like I said, he's been bouncing around a bunch, and I get the strong worry that he'll become the new Albert, and he'll just be repackaged every few years until eventually he finally just kind of fades away.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Going back to this, though, with Axel and Macho Mandow. Okay, I'm happy that Damian Sandow has gotten rid of The Miz. I'm not happy that he's basically back to doing the same thing.
The Miz said in an interview a while back, and the Miz said that when Damian Sandow splits off from him, he's going to get lost in the shuffle. The Miz was right.
Yeah, as much as we hate to admit it.
All right, Sandow has been over as fuck for the last 9 months or so. And the Miz knew from the very beginning that once that whole thing boils over and caps, Sandow is done. Because the Miz has the versatility that he needs as a heel to be able to jump from place to place and nothing ever changes for him, which in this case is not a bad thing. But Sandow does not have that luxury. And honestly, we need the pompous, asshole, intelligent person coming in to cleanse the unwashed masses. We need that, but we're not getting it. Hell, take that same goddamn gimmick, turn him into a face, and I'm pretty certain that everyone will still love him. But that's not going to happen. They want Sandow to be the guy that copycats everybody. And that's neat and all, but it doesn't make Sandow look like a competent competitor. And that's the big difference between the WWE roster and the rosters of a lot of other promotions. Yeah, they have their jobbers, but they all look legit in one way or another. The WWE does not have those people. And that is a huge problem. With all that said, what do you guys think you're going to go with?
For this, I think because they're starting to make these two a tag team and they want to get some kind of momentum going with them, I would probably go with Axel and Mandow.
I guess I'd say the same. By the way, isn't it weird how, like, all of a sudden the tag team division is legit one of the best parts of the show, and it's just filled to bursting with a bunch of tag teams, whereas, like, a couple of months ago, it was just basically the Usos plus one.
And now all of a sudden the Usos are gone and everybody's just like, oh shit, the Usos are gone. Ding dong, the witch is dead.
and the New Day are the champions, which just makes everything that much more interesting.
Oh, I've got a lot to say on the New Day, but we'll talk about the New Day when we get to the New Day. But for right now, I'm going Axel and Mandow.
I'm actually going to go with the Ascension on this one. I have a feeling they might try again with the Ascension. I mean, they held the NXT Championship for well over 200 days. The Tag Team Championship specifically. I have a feeling that they're going to try one more time. Yeah, I know, it's beating a dead horse, but
it's worth a try.
It's absolutely worth a try, and Axelmania and Macho Mandow, they can fight another day. Actually, no, forget what I'm saying. I'm incredibly stupid. Mandow and Axelmania are winning.
It would make sense if Axel and Mandow were to end up losing. Okay, I'm going to have a lot of trouble saying Mandow. Can I just go back to saying Sandow, please?
Sure.
If they want to make these guys like a comedy jobber tag team, which I could see, unfortunately, then yeah, they could give the win to the Ascension and try and get those guys going a little bit, but I see it much more likely that Axel and Sandow form a tag team. And you know what? This whole thing isn't really the worst thing in the world, because they're taking two guys that they really don't know what to do with and sticking them into a tag team and seeing what happens. It's basically the same thing that what happened with Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. So I can't really complain too hard on that.
You know what's it's funny though. When I look at Damian Sandow, you know who I'm reminded of? Charlie Haas. Charlie Haas did this whole gimmick of copycatting, and you want to know what happened to Charlie Haas? He vanished.
Isn't he in like New Japan now?
He's with I think he's with Shelton Benjamin, and they reformed. But see, I have the feeling that they're just going to keep trying things and throwing stuff at Sandow to hope something sticks.
And that's the thing with Sandow. He's such a versatile guy that he could basically take whatever garbage the WWE throws at him and just make chicken salad out of chicken shit. And like that is almost like a skill to his detriment, because they're going to keep throwing crap at him and they're just going to go, okay, he'll make it work.
Did you just take my argument about Cody Rhodes and steal it?
May have.
I'm humbled and flattered.
I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
I did notice, so fuck you. All right, so we're all with Axelmania and Macho Mandow.
I guess so.
That sounds so weird to say.
It's hilarious. I'm very glad that Hulk Hogan and I assume Lanny Poffo's family have given their consent on this. This is that right there is great. And I think it elevates them to a level at the baseline that is higher than normal, and I think that's pretty cool. Next match
we got is Ryback versus Bray Wyatt. Okay, before we get to this, I just want to say this. Despite Wyatt losing at WrestleMania, despite that, I think they're going to try again with him with something. I think using Ryback, is a good way for him to, I guess, get himself back where he used to be. But this fucker is acting like he won. He's still, I'm the new face of fear. Fear me. That kind of bugs me, and I don't know why he's going after Ryback. Like anybody else, you don't want to go after Cena again? You don't want to go after Randy Orton? Which I honestly thought they were going to go after Randy Orton.
It's simple. It's very simple. Ryback is a huge, strong man. The guy is strong as an ox. Now, Bray Wyatt winning would be a good boost to his character, and it wouldn't hurt Ryback that badly. However, this only applies if the match is done in one specific way. This match needs to be a squash match. If they want Bray Wyatt to look like the true face of fear and have any kind of real stick when it comes to the whole, I'm going to destroy you, booga booga booga, I'm the new face of fear. If they want people to truly believe that, then Bray Wyatt needs to pick a target and flatten him into the ground and smush him like a little tiny insect. This match needs to be a 30-second squishity squashity bug match. Bray Wyatt needs to win in like 30 seconds. It needs to happen. Otherwise, I'm not going to fall over for the Bray Wyatt character. I'm not gonna care, because Bray Wyatt is a larger-than-life character. He's not the kind of character that says, I am going to beat you at Super Slam 2025. No, this is the kind of character that says he moves the heavens and the earth. He is the light. He is the darkness. He controls all. This character, as far as gimmick goes, is the biggest character in the WWE right now, and he needs to prove it desperately. I am not only predicting that Bray Wyatt wins this match, but I predict that he is going to demolish Ryback.
How hard did they drop the ball on Bray Wyatt? Like, really? Because
it was so simple, too!
Honestly, the breakup of the Wyatt family did nothing for any of those guys. Like, all three of those guys, Wyatt, Harper, and Rowan, are significantly less interesting since they broke up.
They were better as a team, honestly.
They weren't. It's kind of cool that they hinted at a possible Harper-Rowan return.
I think that's what they're going for right now, and I think that'd be great. I think they may just do that as a tag team because, according to the story, Wyatt has set them free. So there wouldn't be much of a story reason for them to come back.
Yeah, but they're at least, I guess, admitting that maybe we need to revitalize these guys a little bit. But back to Bray. This honestly feels like just a rebound rivalry, just to get Bray back on track and get people interested in him again. Which is kind of sad that he, whole new face of fear thing, even though nobody is afraid of this guy anymore.
You know, they used to be. That's the sad part, is that everybody used to look at him with a serious nature, because the guy really did go in the ring, and he really did squish people. And now that the Wyatt family is gone, he doesn't do that. He's writing checks that his ass can't cash, and this match absolutely requires some serious finesse. Bray Wyatt needs to beat the shit out of Ryback, and then 2 months later, he needs to move on to another target and smush him, and he needs to keep doing that over and over again. And hell, if you want to take this further, have the people he beats become a part of his personal army. And keep this going for a couple of years until he's got an army of like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20 people at his beck and call, to the point where all of the storylines have to stop and focus on the fact that Bray Wyatt has an army.
That would be a cool storyline element, so they aren't going to do that.
Of course
Hey,
not.
Calcos, that sounds like a good idea. Let me put that up in WWE 2K15 once it fucking works.
You're still bitter about the PC
Yes,
version,
I
aren't
am. You know how fucking happy I was that WWE was getting a PC game? You know how fucking happy I was and so disappointed I was when I found out that it's full of shit?
Oh, the salt.
You know how happy I was? Because then maybe all three of us could fucking play together. But no, we gotta have a really shitty fucking port.
Okay.
Anyway, I agree with you guys, but I think Ryback's gonna win this one.
No, fuck you.
Explain
fuck
yourself.
You. Fuck
Okay,
you.
listen, if they're gonna do this feud, they're just starting out. I think maybe Ryback will win here and then Wyatt will win at the next one.
No, that is exactly what happened with Chris Jericho. And do you want to know what happened after that? Nothing. Bray Wyatt needs to win decisively for this to work. No rematches, no do-overs. In, bam, out, done, move on, rinse, repeat.
I really do think that this is a one and done thing. I do not believe we're getting Wyatt Ryback 2 at Money in the Bank or at Elimination
Yeah, we thought
Chamber.
about that with a lot of feuds, but still some of those are still going on.
Yeah, that's very true, but I don't see, like, there's not enough meat on the bone to make this last, I don't think.
Yeah, there is no meat on the bone. Not enough meat? No, that bone has been picked dry.
Ryback.
The reason I say Ryback is because I can feel WWE pull a dick move and say, hey, guess what? Ryback wins, lol. Or something like that. But, okay, here's the thing. I think that Ryback is going to win, but I'm going to pick Bray Wyatt. Because
Okay,
I'm hopeful that Bray is going to do this because I really do like Bray Wyatt's character. It sucks now that he did lose and now he's trying to get some kind of he's trying to get the ball rolling again. It actually kind of reminds me of the way he's acting right now. It's from yeah, of course, you remember the scene from Wrestling Isn't Wrestling where Triple H and Taker talking and it's just like Triple H's like, yeah, I won, but you didn't.
I referenced that already.
Yeah, but
this is the podcast where we just rip off all of Calcos's material.
Dude, it's gold though.
Okay, so we're all Bray Wyatt?
Yeah. I'm
good. Because Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, which is his real name, is a part of Wyndham Rotunda.
And his brother is Bo Dallas.
Yeah, Bo Dallas.
I knew that, but Wyndham Rotunda?
Rotunda. Okay.
Right.
You know the Anoa'i family, right?
Right.
Rotunda is their other half. The WWE is big on two families, the Anoa'i family and the Rotunda family. So they're going to try their damnedest to rescue Bray Wyatt. However...
Well, then why the fuck is Bo Dallas so shitty at the moment? Please explain this one to me.
I find it funny that Ryback was attacking Bo Dallas and then all of a sudden Bray Wyatt showed up like, just like, yay, he's saving the baby brother.
I'm pretty certain that was I think that's what they wanted. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. Anyway, we're all Bray Wyatt. WWE, don't fuck this. Bray Wyatt should and can be the next Undertaker. You can't fuck this.
Next match, we have the New Day of Big E and Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods on the side, defending their tag team championships against Tyson Kidd and Cesaro.
In a 2 out of 3 falls match.
With Natalya on the side.
Yeah.
Okay, the New Day. When was the last time we saw a team go from literally the least interesting, want to change the channel every time they come on screen, whatever, to the most interesting, coolest anything on the roster? The New Day, especially after the heel turn, is the shit.
It took 2 months for this to happen, too. Less than that.
It took only about a month for them to go from just boring as shit, the blandest of the bland faces, to holy shit, New Day is fucking great.
I think they realized because the crowd was booing them so often because they could not just stand them. They thought, hey, why don't we just turn them heel? They hate them already, so they just ran with that.
I've mentioned this before. This was their plan the whole fucking time. They worked us, man. I would not be surprised in the slightest if this was their plan from day fucking one.
Didn't they do this exact same thing in NXT with Bo Dallas?
Yeah,
Yes!
that's what they did too. Because
Yeah.
I was just about to say.
Remember, Bo Dallas is one of only 6 NXT champions, and people hated the motherfucker.
Whoa, hang on. Bo Dallas was an NXT champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
He was very over as a heel NXT champion. Bo
Yeah,
Dallas's current gimmick, if you do it right, works, and it works very, very well. That's why I said they should go all out with it. They should have him write a book. They should have him sign copies of the book when people hand it out at ringside. They should have him be a life coach for other jobber heels, which allows them to elevate up the card. They can go crazy with Bo Dallas's gimmick. They're just not. They're playing it a bit too safe with his gimmick. Because, I mean, fucking A, Bo Dallas is so goddamn good at generating the heel heat. The best Star Wars movie, Episode 1. The New Day is very much the same thing. I mean, it only took them a month. Like Nikki said, it took them very little time to get where they are now. And slapping the championship on them in Extreme Rules was a very good decision because it just makes everything that much more interesting now that they are the champions. Not a super over babyface team, them. It throws a wrench into everything, and it's very exciting to see. Not to mention, it makes Tyson Kidd, Cesaro, and Natalya faces.
Which is what they should be.
This is a good thing. And I have a theory as to why they're faces now. Cesaro, when they were doing their European tour, was over. Like, there is over, and then there's Cesaro in Europe over.
Like, Cesaro in Europe over is roughly equivalent to Shinsuke Nakamura over in Japan. It is a new level of over.
And I think they made him they're making him a face on purpose to draw in the European crowd. And I'm okay with that. The guy is a natural babyface. He uses babyface moves. He's got a clean-cut look. He's stronger than a fucking... I already used ox, so I don't know what else I can use as a metaphor. The guy is natural babyface material. I'm really glad that they're doing this now. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the crazy part is, like, they didn't really have to change that much of him, or Tyson, really, to get them to go from heel to face. The transition was really, really smooth for them.
It was just really an attitude change.
Yeah, so...
And they found themselves in the right spot with the New Day being heels, and now that they're faces are saying, hey, we gotta have a face somewhere in here, so let's just switch things up a little bit. And, you know, when you look at them now, they could easily go back to being heel if they won the championship. So just like, yep, we got the titles back, now we're just gonna go back to being assholes. What do you think, though? New Day?
Yeah, New Day. New Day wins.
It's gotta be the New Day, and you know what? I am perfectly fine with this.
They're gonna run with these guys. I really do think that, because, like, the New Day is over as hell, and I think that they're gonna run with these tag team titles for quite a while. So, yeah, I say New Day.
I want the New Day to feud with the Lucha Dragons, though, because that would be freaking awesome. You have Kofi and Sin Cara and Kalisto, and maybe throw in Xavier Woods, too, because Big E's not much of a high flyer, but you'd have a really great high-flying tag team action.
Before we go on to the next match, I would just like to thank the Raw after WrestleMania crowd for giving us the New Day sucks chant.
Yes.
Yeah. That. You can always count on the Raw after WrestleMania crowd. They are the smarkiest.
Oh yeah. Okay, so next match.
Next match is a Divas match. It is Naomi and Tamina versus the Bella Twins.
Yay, they brought back Tamina. She's all right.
Yay, we brought back Tamina, and she's basically doing the same thing she did with AJ. Damn
Yay,
it.
Divas matches. Doesn't matter how good they are because nothing fucking changes.
I'm honestly not as high on Tamina as I thought I would be because, like, a lot of her kicks just don't look like they do much damage, especially for somebody who's supposed to be, like, built like a brick shithouse. Like, she's supposed to be this, like, I guess sort of like the next Beth Phoenix. She's supposed to be this big, burly, and it doesn't look like she's connecting with that much damage.
Because they're not letting her do much.
Divas matches are my smoke break, okay? I need a cigarette, I wait for a Divas match.
Sadly, it
This
is
match,
still
though,
the case.
I'm kind of interested to see where they go with this, especially with Naomi. I've said before that I think Naomi needs to get a better repackaging, and I think what they're going to do here, they're going to try to do something with Naomi and Tamina. They're focusing on the whole family angle because, Usos and Snuka, the part of the family thing. I'm going to go with Naomi and Tamina here.
I honestly did not think that they were actually related. Are they just related through like marriage or something, or?
I don't fucking know. I don't
I
fucking
think
care.
so.
Yeah, I think that the Snuka family is related to the Usos, and then Naomi married into that, so...
Family trees and different branches, 7 degrees of separation. I don't fucking know. Naomi and Tamina, Nikki.
Since the title isn't on the line, yeah, I think that they're going to go ahead and put Naomi and Tamina over and just establish these guys as a new dominant force, and we'll probably get a match between Nikki versus Tamina at Money in the Bank for the title, but for right now, since it's not on the line, and therefore the stakes aren't quite as high, they're going to give it the win to Naomi and Tamina.
Oh, just give the belt to Naomi and get rid of the Bellas, and let's bring up somebody from NXT, please.
That would
fucking bring
lovely.
up Bayley. Bring up Bayley and have Naomi win the title, and then have Bayley and Naomi fight. That'd be a hell of a lot more interesting.
No, Charlotte's ready. Bring Charlotte up.
Then Charlotte and Bayley. Then
leave Bayley on NXT. There still needs to be that face for the NXT Women's Division.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and give it to Naomi and Tamina, but I honestly think Charlotte is making the jump to the main roster sooner rather than later. Like, at the absolute latest, the Raw after Money in the Bank.
What about you, Kakos?
Naomina.
Naomina, okay.
That needs some work. It just doesn't flow.
Are we doing shipping names here or some shit? Okay.
Fuck, I take it back, Naomi and Tamina. Oh, God.
Yeah,
oh, God.
To say, dude.
Next match.
Gotcha, bitch.
Next match is Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus. Okay, this match doesn't have a gimmick in it, so already I'm kind of disinterested, and I'm not really sure why they are having these two continue their feud.
Why is this match not no disqualification?
Yeah, why isn't it that?
Why is this match not no disqualification?
It should be like a street fight.
Exactly. We've already established that these two guys do not like each other. I remember seeing a promo where Dolph said, I don't even care that he didn't kiss my ass. I'm going to kick his ass, or something to that extent.
Can we just say the whole kiss my ass thing was so stupid and awkward?
I told you guys it was stupid, and you guys were like, no, they're going to make a thing out of it.
Well, okay, Nikki was right. Yeah, give him a fucking point.
Yeah, Nikki was right. The whole thing was dumb. This match is dumb. It's probably going to be a pretty good match because it is two really good workers going against each other. And I am always excited to see Sheamus enter because his entrance is so fucking good right now.
Yeah.
But this match should not be a match. For them to make this match work, they are going to have to make this into a good fucking match. Like, really good. But the problem is, even though these two guys could put on like a 6-star match, the booking is what matters in the end. And I don't know what they can do to make everything exciting. Maybe they can surprise me. WWE surprised me many times before, but I don't see any kind of viable option.
I'm going to go with Sheamus on this. I have a feeling what they're doing, they're going to set up something for Sheamus to go after a title.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to agree with you then, Sheamus.
Because if Ziggler loses, Ziggler loses, move on to the next thing.
Not to mention, one thing we forget, Ziggler did win the last match cleanly.
Exactly.
Very true.
Yeah, he won it clean, and it was a roll-up, but it wasn't a distraction roll-up. Which is kind of cool. We didn't see any famousers. We didn't see any zigzags. It was just a roll-up. That's cool.
Like, the WWE doesn't do that very often. Like, they don't have actual surprise endings to matches anymore. Like, the endings always come after one of the big finishers. I would actually kind of think it would be cool if, I don't know, if more matches ended by surprise finishes. Like, just one square kick to the face is enough to hold them down for 3 seconds. Like,
a Ziggler super kick? Yeah. By the way, can I just say Ziggler's super kick reminds me so much of Sweet Chin Music on how beautiful it's executed?
It does. It is. He has... I'm trying to think if anybody else has a really solid kick finisher like that.
Del Rio.
Del Rio, yeah, but I mean, like in the
Do you
WWE.
hear the sound of that kick? Like
That
on
is a
Lucha
hell
Underground,
of
did you hear the fucking kick he did to Johnny Mundo?
That was a haluva.
Stop spoiling it! I haven't seen yesterday's episode!
No, that was last week's episode.
Last week's.
Oh, because I know there was another confrontation between them, and...
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoops.
I do
Calm
know
down
that
there,
much,
Malcolm.
I just don't know how it ends up, so now I'm a little paranoid. God, I need to watch this episode next thing I can.
By the way, before we continue this, please watch Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground is the best wrestling show on the air right now.
Watch Lucha Underground. Do it, you nerds!
Nikki, you're going with Sheamus, right?
I am going with Sheamus, I believe.
Are we all unanimous so far?
Oh no, Calcos, we've had this before. We're usually unanimous up until one match that splits us.
Will this be the match that splits us up? We have King Bad News Barrett versus Neville. For reasons.
Well, this is kind of the dust-off. Like, they each have one win. Neville won at Extreme Rules. Barrett won at King of the Ring. So now, logically, we have the final, or the third match that will decide everything for these guys. Even though everything really isn't all that much, it's just, pride and bragging rights and shit, but
I'm gonna go with Barrett, because if they want him to still be awesome as like King of the Ring and they want him to start making more momentum, then probably him.
I'd have to go with Barrett too. Neville's not going to lose anything from losing this. Not to
Neville's
mention
the new Kofi. Neville's the new Spot Monkey. He don't give a fuck as long as he gets paid to like flip and shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Neville,
that's the thing. When Neville loses, he still loses impressively. That's kind of the cool thing, because when you have as wild as a moveset as Neville has, even if you lose, if you look good in the process, it's almost as good as a win. So
yeah.
Not to mention, I mean, WWE is extremely high on Neville. Very, very high on Neville. I have no doubt in my mind that Neville is going to be another underdog character. He will win the World Heavyweight Championship at some point. It's inevitable. He's gonna win it. Will he hold it for a long time? No. But the fact remains, he's gonna win it. And when it comes to this guy's character, and when it comes to the way this guy works in the ring, it really doesn't matter. As long as he wins it, it's fine. So yeah, I'm with Bad News Barrett on this one.
I'm taking Barrett. We're not going to break up this unanimousness just yet. I'm going to take King Wade, Bad News Barrett.
Oh, is it gonna happen?
It's not going to happen, because I promise you, one of these matches, you are going to look at me and go, huh?
Oh yeah, you're going with Dean Ambrose on the finale, aren't you? Spoiler alert!
How the fuck did you know I was going to go with Dean Ambrose for the World Heavyweight?
Because you're the only person I know. The only person I know that still gives a shit about Dean Ambrose.
Hey, I give a shit about Ambrose.
Not as much of a shit as Nikki does.
I still do, though. Let that be clear.
Fine, next match.
Okay, next match is John Cena versus Rusev. It's a United States Championship match, and it's an I Quit match. Okay, before we get to this, I fucking called this. I've been calling this since like one of the second times that they went up with each other. I thought this was gonna be Extreme Rules, but no, it's gonna be here.
Why? Why?
Because
why would you challenge John Cena to an I Quit match? Okay, this is like challenging Edge and Christian to a tables, ladders, and chairs match. Okay, the exception to this rule is the fact that Edge and Christian have lost TLC matches before. I think they have. Please correct me if I'm wrong. At the very least, at the very least, they've lost tables or ladders matches before. They've lost matches in that area. John Cena
lost a TLC match.
Huh?
Edge has lost a TLC match.
There you go. There you go. The difference here is that John Cena has never lost an I Quit match, and likely will never lose an I Quit match.
If the words "I quit" come out of John Cena's mouth, all of his patriotism will just spew out of his mouth all in one burst. Just As soon as that
if Cena quits, it'll be like almost the equivalent of Undertaker losing at WrestleMania.
Actually, I'm going to have to agree. If John Cena loses an I Quit match here, wow, that is huge. That is one for the
That's
ages.
going to be the most talked about moment of the pay-per-view.
That'll be the most talked about moment of the year. You kidding me? Like, Cena losing an I Quit match? Like, you fucking kidding me?
That would be nuts. Like, holy fucking shit.
Man, if I really wanted to screw with you guys, I should have said this was my what the fuck prediction.
Yeah, no, I'm not predicting Rusev, though. Like, that happening is about... The odds of that happening are astronomically low. Almost uncertain low. Like, it happening would be crazy, and it would be a talking point for people for months and months and months. But... man, everybody's better judgment knows that Cena is winning this match, because if the WWE is smart, the person that beats John Cena is going to be a surprise underdog, a face underdog, and he's going to win clean. Much like, for example, the 1-2-3 Kid beating Razor Ramon back in 93.
You know how I think this is going to happen? Lana's going to throw in the towel for him, and that's going to just end up like ending their whole thing, and he's going to end up going nuts, and he'll be able to start off on his own character, like separate from Lana.
This was inevitable. I don't there. The thing is, this was inevitable. We all knew this was going to happen, but what happens to Rusev now? What do they do? All right, everybody was really high and mighty on Rusev at this point last year. What happened?
He just goes after another guy. He just keeps doing what he knows how to do best, and that's just beat people up.
No, because you want to know who else did that? Goldberg. And do you know how many people care about him now? Nobody. Goldberg sucks.
You know who else did that? Baron Corbin.
And guess what? Who cares about Baron Corbin anymore? Nobody.
Nobody.
This is so dumb. All right, John Cena has done so much for the mid-card in the last month and a half. He's done an incredible amount of work for the mid-card. He has made the mid-card look like a bunch of demigods that have walked the face of the earth, and he gave Sami Zayn his time in the spotlight when they were at Montreal in a wonderful moment. And Neville Wait, did he? Did he give Neville? Yeah, he did. Okay. He did.
Neville almost fucking beat him. If Rusev hadn't showed up, Neville would be United States champion.
You're right about that. You are correct about that. And
Neville was like fucking taking it.
Cena gave Dean Ambrose a lot of big momentum after the WrestleMania ladder match, in a very, very good Raw match. Holy shit, that match was great, minus the big botch on the corner. But this does nothing for Rusev. Right? Rusev is done. I don't know what they can do with him now. A face turn won't work, for one. Them splitting him up with Lana is completely pointless. All right, there's no drama behind it.
What if they give him Money in the Bank?
Yo.
Now you have him doing, like, now he can be like the guy who tries to jump the champion whenever he can, and...
I am so fucking excited for Money in the Bank, man. July can't come soon enough.
Did I just single-handedly turn the hype around on Rusev?
Well, that's the thing. The Money in the Bank contract can put hype on anybody. All right, you could give Heath Slater the Money in the Bank contract, and immediately his value skyrockets.
I want to see Heath Slater win it one day, but I think that Rusev winning the Money in the Bank this year would be nuts.
That would be, oh my god. Anyway, enough ballyhoo, enough talking. Let's do our predictions, and we're gonna do this by spelling out a phrase. Zach, you go first.
Cena
wins.
Lol.
Can I say something, though? The reason that I did pick Cena, because I was originally going to pick Rusev, but I went back and watched all these Cena I Quit matches. The ones with JBL, the ones with Miz, the ones with Randy Orton. The baddest that Cena got beat up is a tie between JBL and The Miz. And with JBL, he was busted open and it looked like he was going to fucking die. In this time, in the PG era, there is no way in hell that Rusev could beat Cena that badly. So that's why I'm going with Cena.
Yeah, in the bloodless PG era of professional wrestling, I Quit matches just don't hold the same charm as they used to.
they're not as brutal as they used to be. The most brutal I Quit match, other than Cena versus JBL I've seen, is The Rock versus Mankind, and that was scary to sit through. We are never going to have an I Quit match like that, or with Cena versus JBL, or any other kind of style.
11 chair shots to the face. What the fuck?
Rusev's got to do that, bust Cena open, set his nuts on fire, beat the shit out of him. Hang him by a fucking chain off of like a crane or something and keep hitting him over and over and over again and fucking hold a knife to his neck before Cena will fucking say, I quit.
And even then, we can't be sure. He might
Exactly.
He might literally die before he says, I quit.
All
In
right,
which case,
Cena wins.
Yeah,
Cena wins, lol. Cena wins, lol.
All right. Now, this is where we're going to be split.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've been unanimous, surprisingly, throughout this whole thing. Our main event for Payback is Seth Rollins defending his WWE Championship. Still seems freaky to say. Still does to this day. Mm-hmm. Defending his championship against Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and Dean Ambrose. One of these things just doesn't belong here. Just saying.
Okay, before we go too deep into this, are the odds of a Shield reformation at absolute zero, or is there the ever so slight chance that it might happen?
Holy shit, that is a Russo swerve among Russo swerves. Holy shit.
This is the perfect scenario to do it. Have the 3 Shield guys plus 1 guy that they can all decimate, and there you go. That's how you do it.
They triple power bombs Randy Orton to a table, turn to each other, and then start beating each other up.
I think that's what they end up
We're gonna see a triple power bomb.
Yeah, they're gonna
almost guaranteed.
Yeah, they're gonna tease it. They're gonna triple, or at least set up for the triple power bomb before Seth might go, fuck you, bang, and like nut shot Reigns or something. But yeah, I've already said who I think is gonna win. I'm going with the big underdog, and I'm taking Dean fucking Ambrose.
I think Rollins will retain.
I think Roman Reigns is winning the championship.
Okay, I can line this up. I can line this up to make all of this work. Okay, Reigns and Orton are beating the shit out of each other. The ref is paying attention to those guys. Kane choke slams the shit out of Seth Rollins, or does something, like punches him, does something to say, fuck you guys, I'm done with this authority bullshit. Ambrose picks up the win. Then you have Rollins and Kane feuding with each other for a while before we get some crazy-ass match between those two at SummerSlam, which honestly doesn't really need the title attached to it. You also have Reigns and Orton go after each other for 1 or 2 pay-per-views. It gives Reigns still a little bit more seasoning before finally you get the big match between Ambrose and Reigns at SummerSlam, where Reigns takes the title then.
By the way, forgot to mention that a stipulation added to this match is if Rollins fails to retain the championship, Kane will be fired.
Never mind, Seth Rollins is winning. I forgot about that stipulation. Sorry, I apologize for freaking all of you out. Yeah, no, nothing's happening to Kane. Seth Rollins is winning. I doubt Seth Rollins is going to lose the championship until SummerSlam. Although I'm not a gigantic fan of these super long championship reigns, because if they want the roster to be booked strong, they need to have like 3 or 4 month long reigns that get passed around between a litany of people. You take a mid-carder, elevate him to the main event, and then put the championship on him, have him hold it for a little while, have him lose it, and then go back down. It needs to be a cycle of people, so that way there's never just 2 or 3 guys going for it all the time.
And that is my logic for picking Ambrose. He was a guy who not long ago was fighting in the mid-card with, like, fighting for the Intercontinental title.
I don't know, man. When it comes to the Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose, all 3 of them are viable to win on Sunday. The only person that doesn't matter is Randy Orton.
Randy Orton really has nothing to gain from this. He's sort of in there just to add, like, the 4th person mystery to him. Can we at least all agree, though, that at least one of these people is going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match?
Well, yes.
2 of these guys are going to be fighting each other at Money in the Bank, probably. Then the rest of them are going to need something else to do. So
Yeah.
Money in the Bank is just as good a reason.
Here's the thing. If WWE wants to be smart, Roman Reigns cannot be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He needs to be as far away from it as possible. Because if he's in the match, he's winning it. But if he's not, then he can pick up the championship later at a time that is more ambiguous.
Fuck it. Just give him the Intercontinental Championship to wait him over. I don't know.
Please give Roman Reigns the Intercontinental Championship. I'm okay with that. God.
Hell, give him the United States Championship.
Actually, Roman Reigns winning against Cena on one of the Open Championship nights, that would not
be the best possible thing.
Yeah, especially since the natural path for Reigns was to beat Rusev at WrestleMania. It makes sense.
Yeah, so just have him be the guy who beat the guy who beats Rusev. It's almost like the Brock Lesnar thing. Like, Seth Rollins ended up being the guy who beat The Undertaker.
Not really. Brock Lesnar is still just... no. Brock Lesnar was never pinned. He still has all of his credibility. He just doesn't have the title. But like I said before, he doesn't need the title. He's above the title. Brock Lesnar himself is a title. You beat him, you are the greatest ever.
Oh my God, imagine if Bray Wyatt did that thing you were talking about.
Oh, if he beats Brock Lesnar...
And then has him join his stable?
Wow. I'm going to go... you know what? I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose on this one.
What?
Oh, I was not expecting this.
Motherfucker, you traitor. God damn it.
I gotta... Here's the thing. Seth Rollins... I'm going back to... I can't decide!
This is a good thing, though. This is a good thing.
Well, the thing is, I'm gonna watch the match and I'm gonna be like, oh, of course. That's the funny part. Is that I can't... Fuck, dude. Are they gonna... The question here is, are they gonna swerve us? Alright, are they actually gonna fucking do it? Are they gonna pull the trigger on Roman Reigns or Ambrose? Or are they gonna coast and wait for another moment? Or are they just gonna do a line of cocaine and have Randy Orton win it? Alright, because again, Randy Orton is 34 years old, and you can bet your bottom fucking dollar that he's winning the championship again at some point.
Randy Orton is the same age as Dolph Ziggler?
Randy Orton was signed by WWE when he was 19 years old. The guy was born and bred to wrestle.
That is still nuts to me, because, you know, Ziggler, young guy. Orton, wily veteran.
Nah, Randy Orton is 34 years old. He's been wrestling for 14 years.
By the way, I use Dolph Ziggler as my basis for every "how the fuck is he that young?" argument.
Anyway, I honestly can't decide, so I'm just gonna go with the safe bet and say Seth Rollins.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be the weird one here.
You know what? Fuck it, Roman Reigns. That's it. We're gonna pick our side on the former Shield.
Oh, God.
All right, and I'm sticking by this one. One of us has Seth, one of us has Dean, one of us has Roman. It works, okay? Trust me on this. It works.
One of us is gonna win this.
One of us at least is gonna get the point, okay?
And if one of us doesn't win, everybody loses.
If Randy Orton wins, we all lose.
If Randy Orton wins, that's just hilarious. I mean, I get it. Randy Orton is going to win the championship again at some point. The guy's got another 15 years left in his career.
He's
but
won the world title 12 times already, though.
Dude, it's Randy fucking Orton, and Randy fucking Orton is really fucking awesome, you fuck.
I'm not saying he isn't awesome. Randy Orton he's fucking awesome.
He's awesome as a heel.
No, I like Tweener Orton. I'm a big fan of Tweener Orton.
Tweener Orton is good. Heel asshole Orton is better.
I just think Rollins, because I know how these storylines work, I know how they play them out, Rollins is going to carry the belt for a little while longer, and then eventually he's going to lose it. And I say Rollins because of the stipulation, they'll still have him feuding. Maybe he'll lose it in the next pay-per-view. Maybe he'll lose it at SummerSlam. Fuck, I don't know. But all I know is that Rollins has held the belt for, let's see. I think Rollins deserves better than a 2-month championship reign. I give him 3 or 4 months, at the maximum 5 or 6.
Wasn't Edge's first title run like? It didn't last very long.
Edge's was from pay-per-view.
Edge's whole career from 2005 to 2011 was the transitional champion. He's the guy that is the bridge between two wrestlers getting the championships off of each other. That's why he has 31 championship reigns.
Yeah,
and it sucks that many of those championship reigns didn't mean a lot.
Then that's the point. He was the transitional championship guy. And I believe that Seth Rollins might be that guy as well. But this match
that's not a terrible position to hold.
As it's
being the Edge of this generation, I would take that position.
Yeah, me too.
I just realized pay-per-view wise, the next pay-per-view other than Elimination Chamber, but next month is Money in the Bank, isn't it?
No, July is Money in the Bank.
Are you sure? Because I'm reading Wikipedia, it's June 14th.
It's June?
Yeah.
That's
June
why I've been saying.
June 14th in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay,
yeah,
now I'm really hoping they put the championship on Roman Reigns just so he's not in the Money in the Bank match. No, do not put the Money in the Bank briefcase on Roman Reigns. I get it. You want him to be champion. That's fine, but that reveals everything. Okay, it makes the match a shoo-in. It makes it pointless because we all know who's going to win the fucking thing. Please.
We've been saying we all know who's going to win for a while now, and it hasn't happened yet.
Ah!
No. Here's what I'm saying. Are we sure that Roman Reigns is as inevitable to become champion as you think?
Yes!
Are you absolutely sure they aren't going to hold out for just a little while longer than you think?
Yes!
Well, fuck.
I am 100% certain.
Calcos has gone crazy when he's this behind Roman Reigns.
I fear we have lost the Haymakers in this day.
Anyway, let's end this cast.
I'm with Seth Rollins. Nikki's with Dean Ambrose. Calcos is with Roman Reigns. Fuck, we've been unanimous. So when this comes down to predictions, if we get all of them right, we're all going to be tied up until this main event.
No, we're all going to be tied anyway. We're all going to be tied anyway. The tiebreaker is going to be the final match. There's going to be one winner and 2 losers with identical scores.
Or 3 losers.
Or 3 losers.
Actually, usually there are 3 losers.